To a whole generation of people, that battle cry is as familiar as a sex tape is to a Kardashian.
Bet she don't know me.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe helped define the 1980s, and the corresponding toy line helped turn Mattel into a billion-dollar empire. There were over 60 Masters of the Universe figures, some of which made more sense than others, but we've narrowed down our top 25. See if you agree. Number 25, Whiplash. Whiplash's tail, ostensibly, whips things when one snaps his waist. The tail was sort of lightweight though, since it was plastic and could turn inside out, so it never really worked. Whiplash sort of looks like Sloth from the Goonies, which is part of what makes him so fun. Number 24, SPIKOR. Who doesn't love a figure covered with spikes? I have absolutely no idea what his pitchfork hand thing is for, but it would always extend when his arm was at rest, which never quite seemed like the intent. Number 23, Jitsu. Jitsu had a giant gold fist that could do a hardcore karate chop. Gold, like velvet, was very fancy in the 80s, so high five him at your own risk. Number 22, ROBOTO. In Eternia, robots are made of cogs and have oddly muscular legs. You could see Roboto's insides moving when you moved the figure. I can't confirm Roboto was named for Styx's classic song Mr. Roboto, but I can't deny it either. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Number 21, MOSQUITOR. MOSQUITOR's action feature allowed his chest to fill with quote-unquote blood. This absolutely did not result in multiple young children growing up to be murderers. MOSQUITOR is super rare, so if you have him, consider selling the figure to populate that nest egg. Number 20, CLAWFUL. CLAWFUL's big claw can't hold much, but it's incredibly detailed for a Masters figure. Skeletor once described CLAWFUL as his, quote, right-hand man. Get it? Oh, Skeletor, you so crazy. Number 19. Man-at-Arms. He-Man's go-to guy, Man-at-Arms has an extremely squished face, a very cool mace, and is just an all-around classic figure. For some unknown reason, he's missing the sexy 80s mustache he sported in the cartoon. Perhaps toy technology hadn't reached the mustache phase at this point. Number 18. Man-E-Faces. Spin the dial on top of his head around, and he can take on 3 different looks: normal, robot, and monster. Man-E-Faces either has multiple personalities or is a really gifted actor, depending on where you are in the mythology. Number 17, MEKANECK. MEKANECK had awesome glasses, nifty silver boots, a cool name, and a neat feature where his neck extended, making him the bane of villains hiding behind fences everywhere. Number 16, WEBSTOR. Not to be confused with Emmanuel Lewis, WEBSTOR had a neat grappling hook and a tight string in his backpack that could be put between 2 points so the figure could quote-unquote climb things. Most kids usually broke it within 5 minutes, but it was still cool. Number 15, EXTENDAR. Everyone seems to forget about this figure, who partially resembles the Atomic Knight from DC Comics. His arms, legs, waist, and neck stretch. He also has this really weird geometric shield that opened up into a bizarre shape and can double as an earring, depending on one's craftiness and fashion sense. Number 14, Mossman. Mossman is notable for being the only action figure in history, I believe, based on moss. But he's cool because he's covered in astroturf and he smelled like air freshener. He's like the Brady Bunch's backyard come to life. Number 13, STINKOR.
Ew! The evil spell SPIKOR will overpower He-Man.
STINKOR resembled a big skunk. His selling point, believe it or not, was that he smelled bad, but he actually just smelled like plastic. Many children who never encountered a skunk growing up thought they smelled like plastic as a result. Number 12, Teela. Teela was one of the few female figures in the line, and respect must be given to He-Man's main lady. Her snake headdress is great, even though she never wore it in the cartoon. Also, Teela is notable for her wedges. Every female action figure in the 80s had wedges. Number 11, SYKLONE. SYKLONE had a great color scheme, a hologram chest plate, and 360-degree rotating arms and torso. It all added up to an interesting and unique figure that never got tiresome. Number 10, King RANDOR. King RANDOR was one of the only figures in the line with an actual cape. He had a removable crown, but there'd be this weird indentation in his head where you took it off, making it look like he had brain surgery that got cut off midway through. Also, doesn't he look like Chuck Norris? Number 9, BUZZ-OFF. BUZZ-OFF had 4 wings, each of which could be arranged individually. He had this weird little helmet that would always fall off, but the wings are what earned him the ranking. Points for having a name that's also an insult. Number 8, Ram Man. Despite virtually no articulation, Ram Man's spring-loaded legs provided endless hours of fun because, unlike Whiplash's tail, he could knock things over, or put your eye out. Number 7, Evil Lyn. Evil Lyn was such a badass. It's a shame the figure wasn't cooler, but her vibrant color scheme makes up for a lot. Am I the only person who thought Evil Lyn was separated at birth from Linda Dano of Another World and Attitudes fame?
Yeah, that's right.
Number 6, Too Bad. Too Bad was a very distinctive figure whose spring-loaded fists meant he could punch himself in the face. Number 5, ORKO. Putting ORKO this high will undoubtedly cause controversy, but he was just so different. You could remove his hat and use this zipcord thing to have him roll around a surface in circles like he was drunk. Never has so much work been put into a character so despised. Number 4, He-Man. Gotta give respect where it's due. He-Man's a fairly simple figure, but he works because he's simple, allowing for one's own imagination to project any adventures one concocts. He-Man's also notable for giving boys born between 1978 and 1985 body image issues.
Those great, gorgeous muscles of yours are totally useless.
And for looking like he's constipated. Number 3, Skeletor. A simple figure, but do we need to justify this? Skeletor is Skeletor. Number 2, the Sorceress. Despite being a central player in the TV show, the Sorceress was a later addition to the toy line. Her color scheme is gorgeous, and her wings could extend out or retract back, so it looked like she had a big cape full of feathers. If you had the Zor figure, it made for some very cool Lady to Bird transformation sequences. Imitating her quasi-British accent was also fun.
Now I must go. Goodbye.
Number 1, Trapjaw. Trapjaw's action feature of switching out his arm for different weapons may be simple, but he just looks so damn cool. Sure, if he moved his head to one side, he couldn't really extend his jaw down, but who cares? He looks awesome and aesthetics win. So that's our list. What did you think? Who did we miss? If you say Rock On or Stondar, we're going home. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos from us. And you never know, we may do She-Ra next.
When you listen to the scripts, even with the involvement